Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Ōkami. Last time we finally met Rao, regent to Himiko, and she's gonna help us retrieve the mysterious fox rods from the sunken ship just off of Ryoshima coast. But just getting inside the ship in the first place is its own challenge. We did spot that glowing entrance, but it's underwater, and we can't dive down. Which is why Rao instructed us to go to the moon turret, one of those towers that you need the double jump to be able to get on top of. It overlooks the ship, and we passed it by on our way to the city for the first time. So we're juggling a few knives. There's the water dragon seizing the waters offshore, the supply shortage that created in the city, the disease, the disappearance of the rulers, the palace being sealed off, save for that very small gap that we discovered last time. And in order to start sorting all of this out, we're going to the sunken ship to get the fox rods. Now note, it did change from day to night. I just want you to keep that in mind for a reason you'll see in a second. Something kind of funny. So the moon turret is just up on the hill to the left. See, you can see that glowing point of entry. And then the moon turret is up there. Also, we have oysters or clams? Not sure. So we're going to take this little shortcut over here. I'm not sure if this is actually faster, just because the swimming speed is slower. It's more of a straight line, but I don't know. Then we make the spout, and we'll be right up near the moon turret. Yeah, we were actually right by here earlier. I think this is where we learned that we needed the double jump, isn't it? Because we bloomed that clover. What a nice view. Too bad spoiled by that sunken ship. I don't know, I think that sunken ship gives this area a lot of personality. Either way, Cut's a nice photo. Something about the moon turret. Wonder if she meant this thing. Well, yeah. So even though it's night, we still have to draw the moon in the sky to activate this crescent-shaped seal. That's really cool. Pushes aside an entire circular wall of water to make way for you to go to the bottom of the sea to get into the sunken ship. God, that's really cool. And then once you're down here, I think it looks a little bit funky. And you just bonk off of it. It's like plexiglass. And we can dig up another shell here, another oyster. And this one actually has some glass bead. So good, something to sell. We're gonna need a lot of money. Still haven't met up with Rao, but at least we can let ourselves in now. So the sunken ship isn't quite a full-fledged dungeon, but it is a really fun one. It's short in the same way that, not Pseudo Ruins, the Gale Shrine was, except this doesn't end in a boss. But I think the layout and puzzles here are more interesting. And yeah, there's a cursed seal, presumably to keep looters out. But it's a really sinister-looking curse. So we can get into the lobby of the boat and no further. At least under our own power. Remember how we recovered the prayer slips for Rao? Jesus. Ammy's jaw dropped. My political duties delayed me. So Rao is going to be the one helping us through this barrier. Sunk by the water dragon. Holy powers can easily deal with a few dozen monsters. There's nothing to worry about. The monsters aren't the problem right now, it's the door. That's all fine and dandy. But what about this cursed door? Was it sealed up like that to keep looters out? Or maybe it's the curse of those who died when the water dragon sunk their ship. That thing's just seething with intensely evil power. And again, this is where Rao's prayer slips come in handy. So we recovered essentially a stack of them, but they are not finite. They're not consumable. When we come to them, I'll use a prayer slip to break the seal. So if you don't mind... So she's just gonna ride us for the rest of the dungeon. The rest of the mini dungeon. So all you have to do is do the targeting for her. Which you do by drawing a line from the prayer slips to whatever you're throwing them at. And that's it. And you can also see there are a couple of apparitions just floating around the stairs. You can also deal with them the same way, just like she was saying. Monsters aren't a problem for her. And when you defeat these with the prayer slips, they all drop blue fangs. Which we will actually have a use for pretty soon. And before we go deeper in, I haven't spent my praise in a while, and I'm going to want the life beads on. So we're going to put this on, and then Sumigari as my sub-weapon. Glaive's sub-weapon is pretty fun. At least until I get a really special thing for the reflector later. Yeah, just look at all those treasure chests. Just waiting for us. We're gonna be millionaires even before we find those fox rods. Did you hear that? Oh, must be the spooky dolls. This is a really creepy laugh. So we're just gonna bust all these open, collect our treasure, and move on. It was a bullhorn? We're getting some pretty good stuff. Can't do anything about these unless... What about the prayer slips? That's cool. It's not useful, but it's cool. But now, we still don't know where the laughter was coming from. Or do we? We got mimics now! Ah! Love a good mimic. Love a good mimic. We still hear the laughter, so... Hello. One to wake it up. One to put it back to sleep. So we notice that we can roll on that. We can roll it in place, but it's stuck there. We can't do anything with it. And we have ghosts. More ghosts. Shit. Trying to block your view of the spikes and the traps. Oh, hermit crabs. So one of them is going to try to bombard you. The other one tries to flood this area. And they're both armored. So we want to break their armor with something like the cherry bombs first. Cherry bomb is really effective at doing that. Also notice the shape that their armor makes. They are Jiro and Subaro. I think the green one is Jiro. And they're the closest thing this dungeon really has to a boss, or a mini-boss. Oh, hello. Never actually seen him do that before. That's kind of a nifty attack. Love the shark tail in the back half of it. You know, the only weird thing about this dungeon, now that I really think about it, is that you use hardly any of your abilities in here aside from the new double jump, the prayer slips, which is just drawing lines between things, which, to be fair, is how a couple of your abilities work anyway. But yeah, for the most part, it's just a couple of things. As soon as the sun comes up, cold seawater floods in. So we're going by very loose title rules here. There is a big scale here, but there's no counterbalance on the other side. And this big hole letting the moonlight in. Before we go any further in, I'm just gonna dig up this clover, bloom it, get my praise. And then, we're gonna flood the room. And so this makes up the crux of the dungeon, is manipulating the tides and manipulating the water levels through changing the time of day from either night to day. And going back and forth to reach different parts of the dungeon. Now, as said, take note of Jiro and Subaru's armor, because they can come together to form Ichiro. They can also do that in the first fight, if you let the room get flooded and then let them combine. But it's the same idea here. It has the same attacks as they do, including that bombardment attack. And it's still armored, and you can still blow it up really easily with cherry bombs, and then just go to town. I think that's so cool. It's such a cool design. I'm not sure about the mythological origins of it. I've been reading this Tumblr blog called Mythology of Ōkami, and they didn't have anything for it either. But they did say that Ichiro means firstborn, Jiro means secondborn, and Subaru means thirdborn, which is kind of cute. Oh, and we're gonna have to watch out for even more jabs. Don't want to get impaled there. And now we can reach some new parts of the rooms that we were in previously. This was the treasure chest room. Whoop. That is not where I want to be going anyway. The way forward is over here. We couldn't get up here before, so there was no way to see this cannon back here. So we have a locked door in the same room as the cannon, but the room's currently flooded and we don't have the key. And there are 3 of these things that you can break. So the way that you aim the cannon is to stand on different parts of it. Just use Ami's body weight to reposition it. which can be trickier than it sounds. Like, the first two are easy, because it's just either all the way at the bottom. Oh, wait, maybe you do have to let it up a little bit to hit the bottom one, or all the way at the top. The middle one takes a little bit of finesse. Oh, as does the bottom one, apparently. And there are ghosts a-coming. Yeah, this should be good. And then that middle one gives me problems sometimes. But the important one is the bottom, because that gives us the key for the gate. And that gives us a blue fang. Okay, so now we want to get this just right. Kind of hop up and down. I think this is good. Hell yeah. We got it with the tip of the explosion. So now we come over here, we create a lily pad to get up on this platform, this shelf. And then with a double jump, we can reach the highest floor. And this is a solar fragment for us, a sun fragment. And we're still a little ways off from our next upgrade. There's a pearl over here. Really nice treasure to sell. And now, clearly what we're going to have to go do is either find a way back to the room that we were in the first place when we flooded the ship, or we're going to have to find somewhere new with a crack in the hull so that we can let the moon back out. And then we have to backtrack here to grab the key, and then we can move forward. Oh, hello. But there's still more to this dungeon that we haven't seen yet. Like this. What the hell was that? It's some spooky shit is what it is. There's some sort of horrifying moss creature down here. What is it with disembodied hands chasing me lately? First little nightmare is now this, back to back. Okay, we're gonna drop the barrel into the water. So it's a good thing that we actually haven't lowered the water level again yet, because we still need the ship to be flooded. This is really, really cool. It's not easy, but it's nifty, and there's not, it's not like you can do too much wrong. It's just tricky to get this right and do this fast. I think this is a really cool physics puzzle. There we go. So now we're on the other side of that room from earlier. And we have the counterweight set up. So that raises the other barrel a little bit, which means we have access to that room up on the second floor because we can double jump up to it now. However, there's still the moss creature. We have to find a way to get back there and up and around. And we still have to let the water level out and go use the key. So you can see there's a little bit going on in this dungeon, in this mini dungeon. Plus the setting is really cool. It's really atmospheric. It's got Ichiro and Jiro and Subaro, which is cool. Introduces the mimics. It's a little bit creepy. Oh, and then there's this. God, the Sunken Ship's cool. Now we should be pretty safe. Oh, what this actually did was loop back around. But that does mean that we can get back to that room without having the dungeon flooded now. So we can now go back the other way and access the unflooded version of that. We can't do that from the opposite side without raising the water level. So that is what that unlocked for us. Really cool stuff. And that apparently dried out and desiccated the moss creature, which leaves it vulnerable to some sweet, sweet revenge. If I can ever get up here. Oh my god, this is very, very bad. This is where you can mess up the barrel rolling and actually have it matter. Oh my god. I just want to get... Oh no. I just want to get it started. Just once I get it started, I'm good. Okay. This is the slow death. The death that takes its time. Oh no, we didn't... It's not quite done. Let's, Oh, I was gonna go back the other way. I was gonna back it on up. 50 praise is not bad for that. That's a decent chunk. No, I'm going back here. Oh, I missed this chest before. I think this might have been when the ghost was chasing me. No, this is when the moss hand was chasing me. Cool, and now we can finally go collect the key. Where does this lead? I actually completely forgot about this. Oh, it gets us up here. Cool. Oh, so now everything in the dungeon is accessible to us no matter where we started. And they're in more chests. Oh, the mimics respawn. That's why. Oh, neat. I really love the way that Ōkami does dungeon shortcuts. Okay. Finally back here. I worked my way back to the origin mirror for a heal because of how wrong several things went there. Landed on a spike at some point. I think the mimic hurt me. The moss hand. The catastrophe that happened there. And who do we have here? The first one looked like the Spider Queen. This one looks like Crimson Helm. Am I stuck or is that preventing me? Okay. So again, many, many more chests. The first time we came across such a room, it was really, really suspicious. And there were a lot of mimics. So... Oh, it turns out that was the mimic. Does that reach? Oh no, I had to... Oh, I thought I did. Nope. Should have panned it. Oh, hello. This is a weird angle. I can't get it grapple on the prayer slips. Many, many friends. Oh, you love to see it. You love to make this many friends. F is for friends who do stuff together. This is not the fox rod. This is not the fox rods. This is the lucky mallet, which can shrink people. Someone else mentioned the eye of a needle lately. Yeah. Even the most solid defense has a tiny gap like the eye of a needle. I believe the exact thing Rao said was, it can shrink you down to fit through the eye of a needle. Nobody can shut up about this water dragon, jeez. And they do something nice for you here, which... Oh, hello. I didn't get that with the cherry bomb either. Which is that when you cross this threshold and you're done with the dungeon, They just teleport you back outside. And she's going to continue to ride on our back the whole way back to shore. Despite the fact that she got here somehow. Can't you swim any faster? No. I have a full human on me. He's a wolf, not a speedboat. Yes, Ethan. Can't you see? She's panting so hard. Also, there is a problem. There's a reason why there's so much urgency behind Rao's words. Also, Isun just encouraging her to pee on Amy. Like, get off first, if that was what he thought she wanted. Isun? Isun? Oh, we are being pursued by the water dragon. This is a whole day. It just doesn't stop. Oh, so you could have done that. Wow, sucks. Is that the water dragon? Yeah, Ethan, that's the one that people won't shut up about. Seems like there might be good reason for that, actually. We also appear to have been swimming in the wrong direction. So before we beeline it for shore, we actually instead want to stop off on this island. Just as soon as is humanly possible. I think I should be able to jump it from here. And dash. Ooh, this is a little messed up looking. And it's hard to tell, but yeah, this mallet just jumped out by itself. Well, I hate to see treasure run off like that after it. So the mallet's like the canine tracker, in that it points you in the right direction and it always stays a few feet in front of you. So we're just following it, rather than a real, actual pursuit, where you risk maybe losing track of it or it getting away. So it seems to be guiding us back to Seon City, plunging us back down deep into the stink zone. And before we follow it to the end of its path, we're gonna call it for today. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one, y'all.